Welcome to the Critical Window podcast. I'm Dr. Stephanie Montgomery. Today I'd like to share a little bit about a recent podcast with Stephanie Cohen, author of Learn to Talk with Me book series, a speech language pathologist who spent decades working with infants, toddlers, and children on communication, language, and eating, swallowing. So, one of the things that we talked about, among many things, is how to take everyday objects and use those as communication tools, something that would facilitate communication and really spark language. It's very timely because right now, as I'm recording this, we're in the holiday gift giving season. So, I think there are several takeaways that I wanted to share with you. Some general play advice that came out of the podcast was minimize toys that make noise. Well, while that may help with stress and nerves, really it's designed to allow space for more communication. So if a toy is making lots of noise, that's a space where a child or adult caregiver, anyone playing with a child, could talk about the toy. So kind of keep that in mind. Minimize toys that make noise. Second, really anything can be a toy. And young children, as you may know, don't really need expensive toys. Think about things that you have around your house, such as pots and pans, paper towel rolls, empty paper towel rolls, or a cardboard box. Now, all of this is with supervision, of course, but think about turning a large pot upside down and taking two empty paper towel rolls and using those as drumsticks. So lots of different things that you can use around the house. I used to enjoy having a box of just all kinds of various, what would be recyclable discard kinds of things, and use that as a discovery box. So be creative. And then choose toys that can grow with your child. So I want to talk about some specific things that Stephanie shared with me and some of the reasons why these are of value in terms of toys. Think about toys that are high contrast. Now, with our newborns, it takes about 6 months for their eyes to develop enough that they can see at further distances, they can see different shades of color. So high contrast toys are really crucial for infant vision development because newborns see best in black, white, and high contrast patterns at first. This is stimulating their underdeveloped vision and strengthening their optic nerves, and it's also creating neural pathways, helping them with tracking, focus. It helps them also to process information before color comes a little bit later, as I mentioned, around 6 months of age. It also helps with hand-eye coordination as they're beginning to want to touch and reach toward and track. Again, their gaze is being coordinated with their hands and other motor skills. So how to use these. Timing, starting at birth during alert periods. Holding things 8 to 12 inches from baby's face. During tummy time, place high contrast books or different toys, or again, things you may have around the house to make that tummy time more engaging and beneficial. Around 10 to 12 weeks, you can start adding colors like red. Introduce full color toys as their vision matures between 4 to 6 months. Now, that was for younger children. Let's think about a little bit older child. Pull back toys. Now, I had not thought of this until Stephanie brought my attention to it, but pull back toys like pull back cars, there's other things that you physically pull it back and it goes. This is perfect for teaching turn taking, vocabulary, also helping children to think about fine motor skills and coordination of pulling back. So several things that you can do with just a simple pull back toy. So you've got that gross hand-eye coordination. You also have opportunities for a child to make predictions and interpret and to problem solve. It really is early physics happening. In addition to that, we can increase language, vocabulary, and social development. So you're talking about colors, the types of vehicles, the different actions, expressive language. This is a great time to just model noises like vroom, vroom, things of that nature. You will notice that your infant toddler begins to mimic or try to make those speech sounds that you're modeling. Also, it helps to be creative, to make up stories. to have social skill time. Make up a story about sharing toys or making predictions about how far something will go or how to wait patiently for your turn or how to enjoy the interaction with someone else playing, even if you're not playing with that toy. Another tool that we talked about is mirrors. Now, I'm a huge fan of mirrors for a variety of reasons, one of which is it allows a child to check their facial features. So when we're working with a little bit older child and we're teaching about speech language development, about enunciating and articulating different sounds, as we're teaching phonetic sound and letter sound coordination, but even as young as infants, as soon as they're born, they're interested in the world around them. So mirrors are great for infants and toddlers. They boost self-awareness, encourage motor skills like lifting their head up during tummy time to look at a mirror that's placed up underneath them. It improves their visual tracking. And of course, again, you've got developing your language and social emotional skills, exploring their faces, expression, and concepts that are going to lay the groundwork for future understanding of others' perspective. This also helps mirrors to develop cognitive growth as you begin to mirror and touch. If you have a larger mirror, touch different parts of the body or different objects and name those objects. Now, I do want to remind you here to use mirrors safely. Now, there are some mirrors out there, and they're very safe mirrors, but they may give a distorted image, almost like a fun house at a carnival. So we're not talking about that. So be very specific about the mirrors that you're allowing your child to play with, that it gives a real representation of the child's face in those very detailed images. So that's important to have a safe baby mirror. It encourages the head lifting. Supervision of mirrors is always important, especially when a baby is moving around. Use non-breakable materials with soft edges. They make a lot of soft books actually that have mirrors built into them for children. And then most importantly, I say it all the time, talk, talk, talk. Narrate about what you see. That's right, that's your nose. Ah, you're smiling. Well, I hope these tips helped you as you're thinking about toys to introduce to your child, how to actively engage with toys with your child. And if you have questions, please comment below and go to Stephanie Cohen's Learn to Talk with Me Instagram and website page for her toy gift giving guide and more ideas how to facilitate language and development with your child.